Huddersfield Town and Middlesbrough are two sides fighting very different battles. A change of ownership is in the pipeline, with Sacramento businessman Kevin M. Nagel touted as the next man to take the reins. Getting a foot in, it still ripples. How about this then? Oh, what a finish! And Huddersfield are back level. Josh Karoma. Oh, he's found the net. Pearson might have been pulled down there. Pearson, he's done it. He shrugs off the challenge. Is it going to fall? Pearson, it's a double. All over. No wins in 6 games for Huddersfield, and then 2 back-to-back against promotion hopefuls.
Huddersfield's great escape is now on after surprise wins over Millwall and Middlesbrough. Driven in, breaks kindly here for Jack Rodoni, big chance, and he takes it! And at last he has his first Huddersfield Town goal! Pearson the target, got it down well, Ward! This is Karoma, delivers the cross, oh! Kian Harrott! Absolutely incredible scenes! The greatest of escapes could well be happening.
Jack Rodoni to take the high routes, and it nearly pays off. It still might. It does. And they got another one. It's a second goal by Jack Rodoni. No more time, but what a game it's been. A point is better than nothing, and that's what both sides have got here today.
They actually had to grit their teeth today, show a lot of passion and a lot of guts, and that's my kind of team, really. They're giving me absolutely everything.
I mean, we were very, very fortunate to lock into some really quality people who were truly looking after their community and had a lot of integrity as to the answers we needed to be able to run that quick.
Hey, how you doing? Good to see you.
Michael Thomas.
Nice to meet you.
Pleasure. Welcome to California.
Likewise. Brilliant. Thank you.
Dave Baldwin's a guy for 10 days that I spoke probably every single day, multiple times a day. This was a unique individual we got to cross paths with that had history not with just Premier League teams, but with the league itself, with compliance, with transaction, player sales. We were extremely fortunate to end up with a guy like Dave on the other end of the negotiations.
Kevin, Dave Baldwin is here.
Dave Baldwin? Dave Baldwin? You mean the guy that we transacted a deal, never met?
How you doing?
Make it official,
Good to
part
see
of
you.
the family. Come on,
Thanks
sit
for
down.
looking after me.
So you know what I've been studying?
English to English. Translating some of
You
our
see this,
language.
Michael?
To understand some of our phraseology.
Yes.
So in terms of my role in the process, from Dean Hoyle, the current owner of the club, was to actually find an appropriate new custodian, because it's really important that an individual who takes charge of a football club, you're taking charge of a heritage and taking responsibility for, you know, for a lot of people's generational support of that football club.
So we've got some really important things to talk about.
One of the things that Dean looked to do was to make the deal really attractive financially, because he wants to give the next custodian as much capability to support the resource of running the football club, not the resource of paying for somebody else's shares. So that's very magnanimous of Dean, really, in that sense. But also, it's a big responsibility for Kevin, and he has taken a leap of faith in the speed in which he's done it.
You know, the best kids within the Huddersfield and the greater West Yorkshire area. And what tipped it for me about knowing we need to get the stadium back was 3 of the directors from the council wanted to interview the company first to decide whether they were right to put the name on the side of the stadium. So now, and we thought we'd done a great deal, because the shirt deals are around about 250,000. So if you turn 250,000 into 1.3 million, you think you've done well. My second deal was 4.25 million per year on a 3-year deal, and the third deal was 7.25 million. Same thing, same product, same space.
We were fortunate on people that were, I think, truly representing their community, but also what the team and the supporters and the community and the sponsors and all that represents. So I don't think I've worked on a deal where I felt that comfortable with people out of the gate.
It is an art, not a science. You know, there isn't genuinely a price for a player. Everybody understands the philosophy of it. Not everyone can execute on it as well as that, and therefore that is built on reputation, network, contact points, how to go and build up a story about a player.
Yeah, straight away I knew Kevin was the guy. It was the similarities between what I knew of Dean as a human being, what I knew the club meant to him. For me, that was instantly what I just thought this is just two peas in the same pod. They just happen to be on a different side of a pond.
I saw it just at 1:30.
Yeah. So you may want to get your laptop and
get logged on with the Wi-Fi as well.
Get you ready.
Perfect.
Hi, Dave.
Are you well? We're both here.
Let me just turn the sound up a minute.
Neil, nice meeting you.
Hi, Kevin. And you too.
I've been watching you afar, you know, every match since we got involved in this whole thing. Here's the thing, Neil, that I would say is the reason why I'm here is a lot of it is because of this guy right here, Dave. We were starting to look to see what was available, you know, really in the British marketplace. Once I saw it, it actually resonated with a lot of my history, where I grew up. I'm sort of a blue-collar kid. I never met my father. And my mother raised two other kids. I put my way through school. And so I started to read a lot about the club and the people. And then I started to watch clips. I saw some of your clips. And so then when I started to meet Dave, the way he thinks, the way he was talking, it's the same way that I built my businesses. It's the one thing that we agreed. I said, Dave, I don't think I can do this unless you're going to be with us. And he agreed to, for the next year, to be here for a couple of days a week. Who knows? Maybe after that we'll talk him for another year. But the reality is I need him, and I need somebody like yourself, your advice. But I very much agree, by the way, with your philosophy. I'm not just an X's and O's when it comes to numbers, like data, because I know that's the way the whole sports industry's gone. They may get you in the top 1/3, but they don't win championships. And there's that feeling that you get with all your years of being a manager that you know, is this a player that can win? Or does he just know how to play?
Yes.
And that's, to me,
that's what I'm good at, Kevin. When I build my teams, even some of these players here, nobody in the wildest dreams would think that they could play like they have done the last 4 or 5 games. None of them. But it's incredible what you can get out of a group of players if they believe. I mean, in your business, whatever business, Kevin, you've got to have that ruthlessness, that desire. I mean, I was brought up in a 2-bedroom semi-detached house. My mother had multiple sclerosis. My dad worked 16-hour shift as a crane driver. And so you valued everything. And you had to be a winner. I just know what we've got here. I remember the Cardiff chairman, who I loved, this Mehmet Dalman, saying to me, a little bit expensive, Mehmet. I said, well, I'll tell you what, Mehmet, in a year's time, if you think I'm expensive, I'll give you some money back. And in a year's time, he gave me a rise. he said, I know when I get value for money.
You know, Kevin never knew his dad. His dad was never in his life. They were somewhere between destitute and poor, not just, you know, poor. His mother would do everything she could, but the kids were also expected to work, and I think that's where he got his work ethic. It was up to him to provide for himself. There was just no money. And I think that really served him well later in life, the hustle, the creativity, and the ability to, no matter what financial level he's at, identify with any financial level people.
I'm excited to meet you in person because I'm hoping we try to get this thing approved sooner than later. And I'm hoping by then relegation will just be a word that's behind us, and we can think about the next year about how to build the success. By the way, I just have to tell you, the impact that you probably had on my team here in the States. Our record, the last 5 games, is 3 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. Does that sound familiar?
Wow.
That's exactly the same. Yeah. It seems like you've got the boys in the right state of mind. We'll be watching you, so God bless.
Thank you very much, and nice to speak to you, Kevin. I'll be doing my best.
Same to you. Bye-bye.
Take care.
All right. Cheers.
Bye-bye.
Dean has relied very heavily on me in terms of my opinion as to what would be right for the club and who would be right for the clubs. But clearly, yeah, Dean had to make sure he could look into the whites of Kevin's eyes and go, you're going to look after my baby for me, aren't you? So these are all on commercial leases then? Is that what it is? Yeah.
Other people are interested in the football club. They were spending other people's money. but Kevin is spending his own money. He's an entrepreneur like me, so he can say yeah or nay. He doesn't have to go through credit controls. What's really pleasing for me is I know it's probably as good a deal as he could have done because I know what he's buying. He's bought the dream, and I'm sure he'll love every minute.
Huddersfield might be out of the Championship relegation zone for the first time since August, but the Terriers know there's still a long way to go if they're going to maintain their place in the second tier. He's lining this one up. In fact, he leaves it, panning straight into the wall. He's got another chance now to whip it in though. And it's a terrific header, but he's with the throw then. Headley profiting from it. He was in acres of space. Rhymes. That's a nice offload, and the shot comes in, and it's taken a deflection in the outstretched hand of the keeper. He won't mind whatsoever. There goes the final whistle, though. Unbeaten run comes to an end. Just the one shot on target for them.
Here in Sacramento and the Republic, we're so lucky to have Kevin Nagel. We wouldn't be here without Kevin Nagel. And the parallels between Huddersfield and Sacramento Republic are very strong. You know, Kevin took over Sacramento in a period of financial difficulty and essentially rescued the club, and he's doing the same thing again with Huddersfield.
Todd was played 12 years. Was it 12 years? 13 MLS. But he played before that.
He me that year every time.
I do. I could dig that. But he was at Stanford. But most of his years were the LA Galaxy. So he played with David Beckham.
The good part about Kevin, and the reason why he's so great to work for, is he allows you to do your job. He'll ask questions. He'll make sure that things are going in the right direction. But other than that, he lets you do your thing. That speaks to Kevin's nature. It speaks to the core of who he is.
Somebody gave him a recommendation to go to Sausalito.
For anyone who's a fan and follower of Huddersfield Town, Kevin's the guy. Kevin's the guy. And feel good about having him on your team because he's up for any challenge. He's up for any fight. He's been through good times, bad times, but he's always there. And he's been reliable for us. He's going to be reliable for you. You've got a great one, and you're lucky to have him.
Breaking down the left.
So good, 1v1. Curling this ball in. This ball! Russell Cicerone! Number 5 in his career. He appears in spots when you don't expect him. He makes good that time. Another rebound goal for the Sacramento Republic.
Then it's only us that let the team down then, isn't it? Oh, we
got one.
I got to carry that burden that we're the only one who didn't win. It's some of that moments of clarity in some of those key decision making there. Like a couple of the breaks here, they've been a bit frantic, you know, when they've got in front of goal. And whereas, especially when you see it in the Premier League, like at Burnley, they'll be composed enough to pick literally a tight, accurate pass within that space. And that's the differential. Same with League One and League Two. When you watch League One and League Two football, you see some really good, talented footballers. The reason some of those don't go on and step into the Championship and the Premier League is principally down to that. It's that final, and the consistency levels as well.
Roro's got some space, dumping it off to Gurr. A little give and go here. Cross comes in, Cicerone, Tommy Villader! Sacramento playing some top teams already in this early part of the season. Gurr slipping through. He's got Cicerone to his left, finding Russell. Here's through to Luis Felipe! Pure brilliance from Sacramento Republic. The build-up was textbook. Third goal in the half.
Out to wide and across, especially on the deck. Game over at half-time.
He took us out last year in a 2-1 game.
Enjoying
in their house.
Yeah.
So this is sort of like, it's a little bit payback.
Payback, yeah. Yeah, timing and outcomes are everything, aren't they? So, scholarship, 16 to 18.
Yeah.
Got injured in my second year in the scholarship.
What'd you do?
Achilles. And I was out for the whole year. It was mainly down to economics and job opportunities.
There it is. Whoa.
At least the synchronisation's been broken in a positive way.
Yes.
I'm hoping we can replicate this on Tuesday night.
How are you guys?
Williams, and right off the back of Archibald. Look at this. It's a battle. Oh, Archibald breaking free. Archibald, yes! Oh, what an effort! He deserved every bit of that goal there, and his whole team is coming to celebrate.
I think the best thing about Kevin is he gives you the tools to do your job. He gives you the people you work with, the finances, the facilities. He gives you everything you need to be successful in your job. He supports you in so many facets. Can't speak highly enough of him, to be honest with you.
Come on, let's go. We are. We didn't break the... Come on.
They're getting an owner who's going to want to improve. Already a fantastic club with fantastic history.
You're thinking about all the things you didn't do tonight, right?
No.
Instead of all the great things you did.
Yeah.
Why don't you sleep good tonight?
They will. They're getting an owner who's going to push the level, who's going to want the best. And they're getting an owner who's going to support the people that are in the positions there, and he's going to want to win. Make no mistake about that, he wants to win.
2 of the goals tonight were unbelievable. Yeah? Off tomorrow, off Monday, I'll see you on Tuesday.
Hell of a game, man.
Thanks, buddy. Big night, boss.
Good. Hey, it was.
Well, I'm now a Huddersfield Town fan. It's like we're siblings. Well, I don't know how Kevin's able to watch the games in the morning and come to these late at night. I'm excited for Kevin. It's such a cool element, and he's an avid fan. If you watch him, you know, he celebrates just like everybody else when we score a goal, when we win. If you're a Huddersfield Town fan, that's what I would be excited for, is to see that's someone who cares and wants to win.
So what I've tried to do over the years is kind of help hone his voice as he's been more front-facing, to help get across, or help him get across, you know, who he is and what he means, because that's just not something he'd really done before. He'd been the head of companies, he'd had to public speak, but this is a whole different animal. Okay, let me get a decaf. Are you freaked out? What's going on? Because I'm freaked out, and it's not my money.
Well, you end up being nervous for everybody else, yes. Dave, but I mean,
yes.
Look, I've been through a lot of these things, but am I excited? I'm really excited. I will tell you this much, I want to go there. I do. When I talk to Dave Baldwin, who's got a good relationship with the EFL, having worked there, just sort of advise, just lay low, don't say a lot in media.
You are going to go there for opening match next season if they approve it.
I want to go before then. I really do. I mean, I want to go by the end of the season, because it's going to be several months after that. We'll be approved.
Right.
And I mean, I'd want to go on site, see, I want to see the insides of the stadium. I mean, look, we didn't do that in the process of conducting our diligence. We only had 10 days, right?
Right.
I want to sort of see what the fans are like and experience intrinsically. This is a once in a lifetime.
Yeah.
After the fact, it's a different story, but before there, I can kind of walk in and try to be anonymous.
Yeah, good luck. When Kevin commits, he's all in. Like, we ordered Huddersfield gear, like, right away, watching the matches on the weekend, trying to learn about the players. We call it Huddersfield University. Man, this guy's heart is just, it's on his sleeve, and he's busting his ass right now to make sure that landing and that takeoff once we get there is as smooth as possible. You go over there, that match is like, they got to win to not be relegated. They lose, they're gone, and they lose, and you're in the crowd.
Well, I think that's Dave. You're thinking negatively. I'm thinking positively. Whether it was League One, whether it was Championship, we didn't discriminate even on price. So one way or another, we're going to be there. I want to experience it. You got to experience the good, the bad, and the ugly.
There's a calling for this guy. There's a silent motivation. I think it's to pay back a lot of the blessings he's been given over the years that have brought him from where he started to where he is now. And I think Huddersfield's one of those things where he just fell in love. He wants to put some roots down there. He wants to know the people. He wants to make that club better than when he took over. Can I just say this? I've never owned an English football team before, but I've managed a bunch of fantasy football teams. And let me just say this. Pessimism works. I've known this team for like 20 minutes, and I'm already freaking out like they're the Kings or the Giants or the Knights.
It's exciting. They're the same thing in a lot of ways. I mean, they have to punch their weight higher to gain the respect of other people, and so they do. That's what I love about this team. A lot of pride.
Right.
And that's what I want to go there and feel anyway. That's part of it.
It does remind me, it reminds me of Kings fans. Honest to God, that's probably the best example. It's that small town. We don't care if you like us or not because we know what's going on, and we're proud of what we have.
I got it. I think you're playing Sheffield United?
Yeah.
Just come on over and let's watch it.
Dude, I think I got so caught up in worrying about you knowing over to watch the match that I actually forgot we ordered coffee and iced tea. Yeah, let me go grab it.
All right.
Well, I'm excited, Bubba. I really am.
Let's go. Can't wait for Saturday.
Yeah, man. See you Saturday. I'll bring the sanity.
All right.
Penultimate game of the season, and it could be the most important one yet. 1 point needed.
Town have got to show what they're made of against Premier League bound Sheffield United. Off the United player for a throw into Town. A turn by Danny Ward and a shot into the far corner. The throw in direct to Danny Ward. Ward has surprised the Sheffield United keeper Motteringham with a blistering curling shot. It's Huddersfield Town 1, Sheffield United 0. The referee turns around, blows the final whistle, and Neil Warnock's work is complete.
Championship League next year. Here we come.
To lift Huddersfield Town out of the relegation zone initially. He's done that and more.